Folks, joining us again, I'm glad to say, Donna Rice Hughes, CEO of Enough is Enough. Check out the website, enough.org. How important was this, and what do you believe that this shows?
I believe it shows that every American vote counts and that the people have spoken. And it didn't matter about the fact that there wasn't as much money in the Trump campaign, that they didn't have as organized of a ground game and all of that. What matters is that the people have spoken and that what they want is not business as usual in Washington anymore. As a conservative and as an evangelical, I just couldn't be more pleased that the Republicans maintained control of the House and the Senate, and that now we have President-elect Donald Trump and Mike Pence at his side. I think it's a great day for America.
I couldn't agree more. Of course, today Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Senate, said he's not going to say whether or not he backs Trump's plan to build a wall. So, you know, there's always going to be that resistance from the establishment. They're not just going to acquiesce to everything Donald Trump wants, but nonetheless, as an evangelical, I'm sure you're as thrilled as I am as a non-evangelical, but someone who believes in the sanctity of life, someone who believes in the First and Second Amendment, that it will be the Donald Trump Supreme Court appointees that we'll be having for the next 4 years at least.
That's right, and that's one of the things I said in an op-ed that ran on the cover of FoxNews.com for the past several days since Saturday, that we weren't just electing a president for 4 to 8 years. We're choosing a difference between one direction and philosophy of the nation, which was represented by Hillary Clinton and the Washington elite, and then another direction, which is really back to the people, back to the Constitution, back to appointing Supreme Court justices that are strict constitutionalists. That is so important. They're not supposed to be legislating from the bench. And we've got a lot of problems in this country. And whether or not a wall is built, we have a broken immigration problem. That needs to be solved. And I do believe that the founders meant that every American deserves or is ordained by their creator with certain inalienable rights. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Let me ask you.
Happiness from the womb to the tomb, though.
Let me ask you one question. We only have a minute left. When Van Jones says that this was white lash, white voters lashing out at a black president, 8 years of a black president, what do you say?
I say hogwash to that. It is absolutely not. I believe that people of all colors, all races, all genders got out and they voted for change, and they are looking forward with hope to an America that can be great again, strong again, safe again under Donald Trump and Michael Pence.
So I mean, this throwing around this charge of whites are racist, and I mean, here, didn't we elect Barack Obama twice?
Exactly. I mean, and look at this. We've had our first African-American president, and what's happened with racial relations? There's a greater divide. It's gotten worse. And this has nothing to do with backlash here. You had a white female running on the Democratic ticket and a white male running on the Republican ticket. One's an insider. One has a lot of charges of, or at least suspicion of corruption, long-term corruption, and another is a rough and tumble warrior kind of a guy who really, I think, spoke to the heart of the people.
Yep.
And that's what happened here. And we have to remember, this is the way the founders set up our government.
I couldn't agree more. Donna, I appreciate it. We'll speak to you again soon. Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Up next, we'll break down the election with John Zogby and Gimme 5.